All right, good morning. You guys ready to go? Yeah, okay. Jesse Wilson was a 10-year-old boy who deserved the best in life. He deserved the love and care every child needs to thrive. In July of 2016, Jesse's adoptive mother reported to us that Jesse had run away from home in the middle of the night by slipping out a second-story bedroom window. In the days and weeks that followed, residents from Buckeye and all over the valley put their heart and soul into helping us search and try to find Jesse and bringing him back home. Law enforcement, including the FBI, Maricopa County Sheriff's Office, and all local agencies in the valley assisted, provided resources and manpowers in a search to help find him and investigate what happened. In 2018, sadly, Jesse's remains were discovered on the side of the road near Broadway and SR 85, State Route 85. This was an incredibly challenging and emotional case that had a big impact on our entire community as well as our police department. Buckeye Police Department never gave up on Jesse. In 2020, a new investigator was assigned to re-examine the facts of the case, gather additional information, and conduct additional follow-up. We also ramped up our efforts in working closely with the FBI and the Maricopa County Attorney's Office. And together we explored new angles on this case. Today I'm pleased to announce that we've made an arrest in this case. Jesse's adoptive mother, Crystal Wilson, is now in custody in connection to his death. Last week, a grand jury indicted her on one count of abandoning or concealing a body. With the help from the FBI Safe Streets Task Force and the Gainesville, Georgia Police Departments, the Buckeye Police detectives arrested Crystal yesterday afternoon at her home in Gainesville, Georgia. She'll be transported or extradited here to Maricopa County for prosecution. Jesse's case has always been a priority for this department, and we continue to seek justice for this little boy. Members of the Maricopa County's Attorney's Office and the local FBI are here today, and I want to thank them for their assistance in bringing this case to resolution and helping offer some closure to those who loved him. Thank you. This case was personal to a lot of people. This case, the people who gave their time and energy to search for Jesse, the people who were very brave to pick up the phone and provide tips, and most importantly, for those who loved Jesse. Jesse's biological grandmother, Cynthia Lauderdale, was very brave to show up here today, has been a strong and resilient voice in seeking justice for her grandson. And I'd like to invite her to the podium to share her thoughts on the arrest. Come on up here.
What I want to say is that me and my family just want to thank everyone for working the case. I know it took a long time, but there's things that has to be done. We never gave up hope that justice was going to be served. We're just happy that it's finally come to the end to where the person is going to be liable and will be held accountable for the things that she did. It's been 6 years since Jesse was missing. So in the meantime, his mom has passed away in February 2007. But there was one thing that she said before she did pass away, is that justice will be served, Mom. It's just a matter of time. So God took her, and she's in another place. And what I see is that she's working behind the scenes. That's just my thought, that she's working behind the scenes. Her last Facebook page on February 7th was "Justice will be served." So we just like to thank everyone that has put all their time and effort in as a team to bring this to justice. We love Jesse very much, and we never gave up hope. And he's in our minds, and he stays with us every single day. We love Jesse, and we know that he's in heaven with his mom, and they're both doing what they need to do to carry on with the justice, basically. And that's all I have to say. And again, I thank everyone for all their efforts. It's been a long road, and we're just happy that it's coming to an end. Thank you.
Can you repeat the name of the adoptive mom and, what led you to believe that, this arrest was needed to be made?
The adoptive mom is Crystal Wilson. And through the course of the investigation, it was a blessing and a curse that it was a high-profile case because we have got a lot of leads on this case, but all of our leads led back to Crystal being responsible in the investigation. Go ahead.
So the charges are, you said concealment of a body, so she's not being charged with the homicide?
That's correct.
And why not?
Some of the physical evidence that was needed for that charging was the actual body recovery itself. Now, we unfortunately found Jesse a couple of years later, and there was no information provided in the recovery of him that would support additional charges. So we worked the case through the county attorney's office, and this was the best, most fitting charge at this time.
So how did she move the body from the house to here? And can you give us?
We believe she did. Crystal has never given us a statement. Well, she gave us conflicting statements, but there was never an admission on exactly what happened.
So we may never truly know how he died then for you as the chief. How does that make you feel?
It's a tough case. She knows what happened. She's not telling us. The onus is on her.
What evidence do you have for the charges that she's facing now?
We have right now, let me give me 1 second. I wrote all this stuff down real quick. Here it is. We collected DNA from her Jeep, statements made by Crystal, and some technology and visual evidence that puts her in the area where the remains were recovered. So that's what we have at the night the night we responded out there.
So why did it take this long for the charges to come about for the adoptive mother? Obviously, she left town, took some time, obviously, for these charges. After he went missing 6 years ago, his remains discovered.
Absolutely. First of all, there were a lot of leads. We had to follow all of them. We just can't, as investigators, we can't, hone in on one theory. We had to look at a lot of them. And it took time to eliminate a lot of those theories. And also during the investigation, we had to request medical records because we were looking for, obviously charges of homicide. And as we went through the case, we exhausted all leads, and this is what we came up with. It took quite a bit of time. And then it was very difficult at the very beginning when you don't have a body for a prosecution. And then when we did locate him, that didn't provide any further information for us. And then as we continued on, this is what we came up with.
We also asked Cynthia as well. Cynthia, we asked you what it's like for this closure, but at the same time, right now there's no murder charges, there's only that concealment of a body charge.
It's very hard, and I believe that in the system that they will find her with murder. So these charges that we have right now to go with in the beginning, that's just the beginning stages. So as it goes along, I believe that they'll find her.
Did you always have your suspicions? And how did you keep going? How did you not give up? Because it's been a long time.
I did have my suspicions from the beginning, just from, what people were basically saying, and people that knew her, I talked to them, and, they were telling me things. So, yeah, I had my suspicions. And as far as, keep going, I just kept my mind busy, kept working, and but every day, there wasn't a day that went by that I didn't think about it. It's very hard. And even now, it's hard, but I just keep going.
Did you have any type of personal relationship with her at all?
No, not at all. I didn't know who she was.
Chief or Cynthia, what's the status of the other two children who were under her care?
Her rights were severance from the other two kids. I do continue to have visits with, one of them. And, Darian, Jaden, so he'll be 18 next year, April.
Have they shared anything with you about the case or how they feel in regards to some closure coming?
Yes. Yes.
Chief, did you ever locate anything that indicated a murder weapon or anything?
No, we don't believe, we don't think so. Well, I mean, I know so. We didn't locate any murder weapon, anything along those lines. You know, in my mind, I think it might have been neglect that led to this, to his passing.
What type of, these type of charges, I mean, what would she be looking at?
That I'm not sure of. That's more of a question for the county attorney. Yeah.
Cynthia, Chief says that right now Crystal is not cooperating with the investigation, not speaking up. By the off chance that she's watching this, what kind of words would you say to her?
What I would say is, why would you hurt a child? That's a kid. And he didn't deserve what was done to him. So you need to be held accountable for his death. And you need to speak up and let them know what happened.
Chief, can you expand on why you believe it's neglect?
That I can't. I just, you know, there were some factors at the very beginning in the investigation. There was some issues at the house related to air conditioning being out, and there's just a few factors in my mind that I would lead to it. But again, I wasn't the lead investigator on it, so my thoughts are a little more broader than theirs. And the lead investigator would be here, but he's on his way back from Georgia right now.
Do you know when she's gonna be extradited?
We'll probably know that today. She could fight extradition, she could waive it. We don't know at this point, but we'll probably have that information later today. She just had her initial last night.
Any details on her arrest? Was there resistance? Do you have any details?
No, she was taken into custody and without any issues, and but she refused to speak with us about the case.
She was staying with family in Georgia?
That I'm not sure of.
She was there for some time?
Yes, and yeah, she was living in Georgia for several years, and we were tracking that.
I was watching an old story in Buckeye Police, you know, there was body cam video of responding to the house, talking to Jesse before. Was there anything that could have been done by police or authorities to get him out of that situation, since you guys had been in contact?
Based upon that incident alone, there was nothing to indicate that he needed to be removed from the house. If there was, we would have contacted DCS and taken steps to have him, or taken steps with DCS to have him removed. But there was nothing on that initial call to indicate abuse, neglect, or anything along those lines that time we went out there.
Were your officers there for the arrest, or is that after the fact?
No, our officers were there for the arrest. Detectives were. All righty. Thank you for having us. Again, if there's anything else, Carissa is our PIO, and she'll go from there. Thank you.
Let me just let everybody know, we have the printed press release that you can grab on your way out. And then within the next 20 minutes or so, I'll be emailing it to your desk as well, along with some pictures to help you with your coverage. And yes, media requests. Even if you put one in for this years ago, please do us a huge favor and file another records request, please, for the report. We're working on it right now. So that's a link on our website. It's called